Hello students, let us continue chapter number 11. So today we are going to discuss our next topic, that is subordinate courts. The courts that are in the lowest level of the pyramidal structure of the Indian judiciary are called subordinate courts. These courts work under the guidance and supervision of the High Court of that respective state. These courts include district courts, taluka courts, fast track court, quota courts, tribunals, and certain special courts. Each state is divided into an administrative unit known as district. Each district consists of civil court, criminal court, and revenue court. Now about the district judge. The appointment as well as the promotion of a district judge is done by the governor of the respective state after consulting the High Court of that state. Now about the qualification for a district judge. A person to be appointed as a district judge should be a citizen of India. He should have practiced as an advocate for at least 7 years. An officer in the judiciary of either the state or the central government is eligible to be appointed as the judge of the district court. All the other judges other than the district judge are appointed by the governor or the High Court by consulting the State Public Service Commission and as per the rules framed by the Constitution. The judge who handles civil cases is called the district judge, and the one who handles criminal cases is called session judge. Now, district court. A district court is broadly divided into civil court and criminal courts. Now, about the civil court. A judge who handles the civil cases is called as the district judge. Judgments of the lower courts can be challenged in the district court. The district court hears all the civil cases involving matters of rupee 1 lakh or more, either by the government or against the government. The judge of the district court also has the power to run the cases of marriage, divorce, alimony, reforms, and cases of parental custody. Now about the criminal, that is session court. The district magistrate preside over the session court. The session courts includes Court of Civil Judge Class 1 and Class 2. Mamlatdar and Executive Magistrate Court are also a part of district court. These courts have the power to imprison a person for 3 to 10 years and fine a penalty up to rupees 5,000 or more. In case of a murder, the court can give capital punishment, lifetime imprisonment, and also life sentence. Now, a district has a small cause court and family court. There is also a revenue court for hearing cases related to land and revenue, and labor court for hearing labor disputes. A district has several tribunals for solving various cases. For example, there is a tribunal for compensating loss that occur during vehicular accident. Also, there is a tribunal for recovering debts. For protecting consumer rights, there is a tribunal called Consumers Rights Protection Forum. For protection the service and other rights of the teachers and professors, there is a tribunal called Gujarat Educational Organization Service Tribunal. These tribunals functions like a court. They help the petitioners to recover their losses and receive compensation. Moreover, each district has a fast track court whose objective is to run the case fast and solve it as soon as possible. For hearing the cases of POTA, that is Prevention of Terrorism Act, there are POTA court in Gujarat. All these courts have gathered attention by decentralizing their administration and function independently, firmly, and lawfully. Slowly and gradually, people have become aware of all these types of courts and are taking their benefits to solve their cases. Now, the next topic is Lok Adalat. Lok Adalat or People's Court is India's innovative contribution to the world for resolving cases quickly. The concept of Lok Adalat was started in Gujarat. It is an effective way to provide speedy and economical justice to the poor, weak, and exploited section of the society. Lok Adalat are held in the entire state of Gujarat on specific dates of the year as per the prefixed schedule. For example, Legal Aid Service Center situated in Ahmedabad provides free support and guidance through Lok Adalat. Lok Adalat function voluntary even on Sundays and holidays at the district and taluka headquarters as per the convenience of the petitioners. Generally, the Lok Adalat hear cases related to accident and its compensation, divorce, alimony, general debts, personal complaints, police complaints, etc. Now, Lok Adalat consists of advocates, social workers, educationalists, reputed citizens, businessmen, police officers, insurance officers, judges, and judicial officers. The Lok Adalat try to solve the cases amicably in such a way that both the parties get satisfied. The cases fought in the Lok Adalat are neither won nor lost. Lok Adalat saves both time and money. They have helped to solve many pending cases. All the judgments of the Lok Adalat are backed by the law, and hence Lok Adalat have become a center of attraction. Now, the last topic of the chapter is independence of judiciary. Judiciary is the third and one of the most important organs of the government. The Indian Constitution has kept judiciary independent, firm, and fearless from the other two organs, namely the legislative and the executive. The objective behind keeping the judiciary independent is to protect the fundamental rights of the citizens for social, political, and economic equality and for providing justice. To work in this manner, the judiciary should not be inclined or biased towards the government or its personnel. As per the provisions provided in the Constitution, the executive organ of the government decides the terms and conditions for the appointment of judges, the appointment process, pay scales, transfer, promotion, retirement, etc. The judges are appointed for a specific period of time and the executive cannot remove them as per their will or political pressure. Moreover, the pay scale, the term of service, promotion, transfer, benefits of promotion, pension, fund, of the judges also cannot be changed. One cannot conduct critical discussion about the behavior or conduct of the judges in the parliament or legislative assembly when a judge is enjoying his term of service. Once the judges retire, they cannot practice in any of the courts. The purpose behind this is to empower the judges to perform their duties fearlessly, honestly, self-reliantly, independently, and firmly, and hence impart true, transparent, and fast justice. Thus, the Constitution of India gives the judiciary an independent, impartial, and uniform place. The judiciary has also developed a system in which cases, questions, or problems related to public welfare, etc., can be written on a simple postcard or a common letter and send it to the Supreme Court. In the past, the Supreme Court has treated such matters as petitions and has given some of the finest and efficient judgment. Now, students, for your knowledge, at present there are about 3.5 crore cases pending in our judiciary. The reason for such huge pile up of cases is insufficient number of courts, judges and staff. Central government has undertaken the task of reforming about 1500 old and irrelevant laws to solve many of these cases. Now, student, I hope you have understood this chapter. So, you have to complete your textual exercise in your CW as well as your workbook. Thank you.